Hi, this is a demonstration of the Good Earth Organic School Lunches specialty store for school administrators. The purpose of this store is to make it easy to order lunches for students and get those orders to Good Earth production. It's pretty easy to use. Type a student name, type some more student name, and choose a grade. It just works that quickly and easily. Notice that when you complete a student, it adds a new line for ordering. Our idea for the user experience is that you should just be typing and tabbing and typing and tabbing. To that end, it's worth noting that you don't need to use the mouse to select a grade. You can just type a number and it works. Tab and continue entering students. An important thing to know about this store is that you cannot submit orders without having saved students into the database. We've got a nice little save button over here that'll let you do that. In order to help you not know what's going on, we have a handy message to remind you that you need to save students. And to prevent errors, we have actually completely disabled the checkout button, so you can't do it. However, we understand that some administrators might prefer to enter their students and specify the lunches that the kids are going to get and such before they commit it all to the database and push it through into the rest of the system. And so we've made it so that you can order lunches anytime you want to. So we have not yet saved students, but we can click on the lunch button and then choose meals for a student. Bang, bang, done. Two things appear on the screen once that happens: an acknowledgement that now there are lunches waiting for checkout, and it puts a number next to the student so that you can keep track of who has actually had lunches specified and how many there are, and maybe that tells you whether you made enough decisions or whatever. And of course, when you hover over it, it shows you what lunches that student has. It's a pretty straightforward mechanism. Lunch button, click, 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 click. Oh wait, this student doesn't want to have lunch on Wednesdays. Find the remove button, click it, and we're good to go. Done. 4 lunches, no Wednesday. It's pretty straightforward. Having done all of that, we then can save our students. Good message to let us know that it worked. And finally, hit the checkout button. Shows you a list of all of the lunches that you've ordered. And if that's right, you can start ordering or go back and fix it up. You are able to revise the order anytime you like until it's saved into the system. Once you have it organized just as you want, hit the submit button, tick-tock, tick-tock, and then it's done. Now, once you see this display, 3 things are happening. It's sent to the database. It's queued to be put into production at Good Earth so the student gets their lunch. And importantly, it sends an email to you listing these details for future reference. If you need to use the store again, hit your bookmark, come back in, and there's your students. You'll notice a couple of things different about the way it looks now. One is that the students are now in alphabetical order. While you're using it, we think it's confusing to reorder them, but when you start a new session, we think it's easier to understand what's going on when they're in alphabetical order. The other thing is that the lunch counts now of the ones that are in the system are in green. And that's just a way it makes it so that you can distinguish which students have saved lunches and which ones need work. However, you're allowed to add lunches to any student anytime you like. So now this guy's going to have some Wednesday stuff. It's worth noting that lunches that have been put all the way through the system and in production are the buttons are disabled. You cannot double order for a lunch. But there we go, and we're done. So that's the basic ordering system. But it turns out that there is another aspect of this that we built to take care of the case where students leave the school or for some other reason no longer need to be looked at in this list. We use the idea of marking the student inactive. In order to do that, we have these clever little X's here on the side, and when you click on one, that student disappears from the system. It is marked inactive, and now you don't have to look at them anymore. Presumably you have a fair amount of students that come and go. Changing the student to inactive, however, is a change in the student status that needs to be saved into the database before you can move forward with whatever you're doing. So we click it, and we're off to the races. Now we can check out if we want or not. I'm going to reload the page to show you some more stuff about inactivation, but there's another detail that's worth mentioning slightly. Right now we have some lunches that are queued, waiting for checkout. I'm going to click my bookmark as if I'm going to leave the system and reload the page so I can talk to you about inactivation more. And you get a message that says, are you sure? And this only appears when you have orders in place or students that are changed. If you click stay on page, you can come here, you can check out, and life is good. Or you can reload and say leave the page, and it abandons whatever work you've done, and you're off to the races. Now we're back looking at the system again, and sure as heck that Debbie character is no longer visible, but she does still exist in the system, and it could be that the departure was temporary, and now you want to reactivate the student. We have the button, click it, and here we have Debbie. Oh, lo and behold, she is inactive. You can't order lunches for her, but this turns out these little X buttons are actually a toggle, as it says in the pop-up. The tooltip. Click on that, and now Debbie has a lunch button. You can buy lunches for her, and life is beautiful. But as with activating, you have changed the student, and that change needs to be saved before you can click on the lunch checkout. So we save Debbie. Now she's an active person. Now we can order her lunches, and life is beautiful. So this is a new tool that we've added to the Good Earth Organic Store, the specialty store for school administrators. I hope it works well for you, and thank you for your time.